Usman Khan here for Seconds Out with Olympic hopeful Taylor Bevan, who's got a month with destiny in March. Taylor, how are you feeling, sir?
Feeling good, thank you.
Difficult, or you feel a bit nervous heading into qualification? How do you feel? Do you have those sort of nerves under wraps heading into March?
I don't feel too nervous at the moment. I'm sure when I get out there, the nerves will start to creep in, but I'm feeling confident for next week now.
Are you one of those people who you like to scout some of the opponents you might be in the ring with? Or are you happy to kind of jump into the unknown as the nature of the game? You don't know who you'll be fighting on the night, as it were. So do you like that? Is that part of your makeup?
I'm quite familiar with a lot of the potential opponents at my weight. Because obviously over the few years we box against them, but we always watch a bit of footage of the opponents before we go in with them anyway, so we get a little bit familiar with them. And last week we had a training camp, and I came across a few boxers my weight that I haven't come across before, and I got familiar with their styles and stuff. So it doesn't affect me either way if I've come across them before or not.
You size them up a little bit when you see them?
Yeah, I think you do naturally anyway.
How'd you feel?
Confident.
Yeah, I can feel that confidence coming through from you. But let's get to know you a little bit more. What's your style like? If you could speak about it in your own words. I know that obviously you'll have the GB style, but you have some influences that you picked up from other boxers and then your own little mix as well too. But how would you describe it?
I think I've got an aggressive style, come forward, fast pace, I've got fast hands, fast footwork. Yeah, I've been in quite a few tear-ups as well. I've won best bout of the year 2 years in a row up for GB, so yeah, I like to get into a bit of a fight as well.
You like to entertain?
Yeah, definitely.
Where's that side of you come from? I imagine like growing up you'll have seen some entertaining bouts. I know when I initially first started watching boxing, I really loved watching Amir Khan, who was an all-action fighter, had his flaws though as well too, did Amir, former Olympian, but then like the likes of Gatti Ward, that trilogy. Yeah. Fights I could just go back to and watch in like my spare time whenever I want to. But where did that come from you, that want to entertain, that want to get into a bit of a brawl?
I don't know really. I don't know if it's the want to entertain, but that's just what my style is. One of my favourite boxers is Barrera. Obviously, yeah, the trilogy with Morales. They were some of my favourite fights that I used to watch growing up. Yeah, I just like that aggressive style.
You won't get too many Brits or Englishmen in general picking Antonio Barrera as one of their favourite fighters.
No, I don't know where I came across him when I was younger, but I used to love watching his fights and his montages and stuff on YouTube.
Now, if I'm right in saying, you're one of the people who's fought a former pro in the amateur ranks. Am I right? You fought Mathieu Baudelic, is that right?
What country are you from? I think I've boxed a few.
French, I think.
Oh yeah, boxed him in the European Games last time. Yeah, he's boxed against Callum Smith.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I got the win over him. But I think I've boxed a few pros because they've changed the rules now, so pros can actually box in the amateurs. I think over the years I've boxed a few of them.
How do you feel about that? Because there's a bit of controversy about that, allowing pros to come back into the amateur game. Obviously, they've got tons of experience in the amateur game and then the pro as well too. So do you feel you're a bit of a disadvantage not having that experience in that side when you come against them? I know that you got the win, let's say it on camera, against Baudelic, but do you feel like you're a bit on the back foot when it comes to those type of matchups?
I don't feel at a disadvantage against them because amateur boxing and pro boxing is two completely different sports in my opinion. Amateur boxing is a lot more fast paced. Whereas pro boxing is sitting down on your punches a bit more. But I think it does spoil the sort of pathway for amateur boxers when you've got pro boxers coming and taking the spots in the Olympics that like some top level amateurs could be having instead. Obviously on GB they don't allow the pro boxers to come into the team, but for other countries I think it does spoil their pathway towards the Olympics.
But you did get the win against him, and I also believe that you fought a Cuban as well too, and I believe you got the victory against a Cuban as well too. Good to have that experience against that style as well too. I know that when it comes to GB, they'll look at the Cuban styles and maybe there's a bit of fear for some of the Cubans as well in general because they're so highly talented. But you've got that under your belt as well, that experience.
Yeah, that gives me loads of confidence going into this qualifier. Last year I had a really good year and had some wins over top quality boxers, Cuba, America being two of them. And yeah, he didn't have the classic Cuban back foot style, but still he he was a top class operator, and to get the win over him is just a bonus.
What are you doing to switch off? You know, you got to be focused for this, but to relax sometimes heading into important dates like March. What do you do to switch off?
Not a lot really. Just sort of walks at the weekend and stuff. Just chill out. By the time it comes to the weekend, after training up here all week, I'm pretty tired. So just relax really.
Are you watching much boxing? Are you a boxing fan as it is?
I watch a little bit. Mainly British fighters, pros. I watch a little bit on YouTube and stuff. But when you're boxing so much in the week, you sort of want to switch off from it sometimes.
Completely get that as well, but you've got the likes of Ben Whittaker, like heavyweight like yourself, who managed to have success in the GB and now into the pro. Must be proud of Ben's success. And have you sparred Ben before? I imagine you must. You haven't. Okay.
No. They're the sort of people we look up to from the last cycle. I've followed the journeys of all the past GB boxers and stuff, so they're the sort of people that you look up to, and they give you that sort of motivation and belief that you can go and do it because they've been on the same program as us and we're sort of following in their footsteps.
Taylor, are you someone that likes to have your family round at ringside as well too when you have your fights?
My dad's always there. It doesn't make any difference to me whether I've got people there or not, but it's obviously not. It's nice to have them there. Nice to have people supporting, but my dad always makes the journey over, so he'll be out in Italy as well.
Do you hear him at ringside?
Yeah, until he loses his voice a couple of days in, and then I'd stop hearing him.
What do you hear him say?
Just work harder. Yeah, he's just work.
Someone I imagine who pushes you a lot.
Yeah, definitely. He's coached me since I started boxing at 11 years old, so he's been a massive support in my career so far.
That 11-year-old Taylor Bevan walking to the gym first time, what got him there? Was it your dad taking you there?
Yeah, he used to box when he was younger, and I used to watch him train, but he never really encouraged me into it. It was just something I decided I wanted to do one day, and he took me down there, and I've been progressing ever since then.
You're saying you're from Southampton. Can't think of too many boxers from that region at the moment, at least in the pro game.
No.
But do you feel like you're someone who can be someone who's a shining light for boxing in that region, for amateur success, and then maybe turning pro in the future? Yeah,
definitely. Down south, there's not many pro boxers at all, really. Chris Smith's obviously come on the scene quite a lot the last few years, and that's been good for pro boxing down south. He's based more Bournemouth way. Yeah, it'll be exciting next couple of years if I decide to turn pro. Hopefully, pro boxing will be a lot bigger down there.
Yeah, turning pro might be one of those phrases that you have to keep quiet around here, but do you have those aspirations with your style that you're saying you like to get into a fight, you like to brawl? That's very much a pro sort of style there. Do you feel you not have one eye yet, but it's in the back of the mind there for the future?
Yeah, obviously my focus at the moment is entirely on the Olympics. Yeah, I just want to get to the Olympics, win that medal, and then I'll see where I'm at after that. But I think I do have an exciting style which people would like to watch in the pro game, but I'll make the decision when the time comes after the Olympics.
Taylor, pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much for speaking to SecondsOut. Hopefully you win the qualification and we'll see you representing the country in the Olympics. Much appreciated, sir.